Our features change the way they look based on the angle that we are seeing them. There are many variables, and the grid system will help us get a likeness. How to use a grid? Well, you're going to give this a try yourself. You're going to use a sharp HB pencil and begin with lines to render the exact placement, proportion, and shapes of this eye. No symbols. Draw what you see, not what you think you see. Follow the instructions at the bottom of this page. Start by making a series of plot points that you can connect later. For the eyes, get the interior shape first by locating where the white of the eye meets the skin. Think about where those plot points are along the uppermost and lowermost spots, including the corners of the eyes. Make small dots that correspond within your grid. Once you have all of these dots plotted, you're going to connect the dots around the white of the eye first. Draw lightly and really pay attention to the exact shape that you see. Next, add in the pink stuff where the muscle and the tear duct are. Really be thoughtful about the shape that they create. Then, locate where the iris, that's the colorful part of the eye, would be located within the white of the eye. Sometimes looking at the negative shape will actually guide you to what the positive shape should be. So if I think only about the negative shape and trying to match that, it might help guide me to what's going on with the positive shape. As you have located this, what you're going to do is recognize that because this eye is straight on, this iris should be a circle. Even though it's cut off at the top, it's still a circle. Find and mark the location of the pupil, the black part, and any twinkle in the eye. Notice that the pupil is like a donut hole within a donut. Add in the eyelets. Otherwise, your eye is going to look really small. Notice how puffy the top eyelid is here. Draw the eyelashes last. So let's go ahead and put in these lines here for this eyelid. Notice how far up it goes, almost to the top of this grid box. This needs to go over just a little more before dropping down, actually. There we go. That's more like it. Also have a lower eyelid that you can see here. We are just going to do this as a line drawing. There is a bonus to go ahead and add value and texture to show the illusion of form. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Then I'm going to put in the eyelashes last because I want to demonstrate for you how we would go about adding value into the scene and why you would do the eyelashes last. So I'm just going to double check my measurements here. That feels, even though it's puffy, that feels a little too puffy right there. I feel like this needs to come down and in just a little there. All right, so I'm going to start giving myself some value all the way around, and probably going to do a speed draw here just to make things go a little bit faster for all of you who are watching. Then I'll slow things down again when I get to the eyelashes so I can talk my way through those. So I now have the value of the eye and the iris, and I'm feeling okay about it. I recognize now that perhaps this part needs to come over a little bit more. Remember, you know, it's only pencil. So if you do make an error like that and you need to lift something up, for the most part, you'll be able to make those kinds of edits without any trouble. The trickiest parts, of course, are those parts that are going to be harder to erase, like the iris when you go really, really dark on something. So some things you definitely want to make sure you've got it in the right spot before you go too far. I think that move helped a lot with the fullness of that eyelid. It's still a little bit funky right here. It's serviceable for this demo. I also think that this feels a little lumpy, but I think that's because I did not bring my value down enough in here to make it feel a little less lumpy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So once you've done something, you can always go back in and edit it. That's one of the blessings and curses of the arts, right? Is that you can sometimes just get stuck in this realm of refinement. So that this demo doesn't last another whole day, I am going to call it good enough for what we're up to today and move forward with eyelashes. When I'm working with eyelashes, I must keep in mind that I want those lashes to go in the direction you see them in the picture. Some of which are going to be going up and some of which are going to be going down, even with one eyelid. It's very strange, but perspective matters with the eyelashes as well, and you really want to make sure that they're coming from the eyelid, not the white of the eye. So as you're drawing them in, really use your sharpest pencil. I like to use the HB pencil because that HB pencil is going to give me the finest line, the sharpest line for the longest point in time. If you have a pencil, like a mechanical pencil at home, you might even use one of those. In this area, it's going to be dark, and I'm not going to see every hair coming up here. I'm just going to see them kind of grouped and clumped as they're coming toward us and up at the same time. Then as the hairs are going to whisk in this direction, notice how they start to go low again and end up cutting across the corner of the eye, hiding a little bit of the white of the eye as it heads in this direction. Really just pay attention to the line directions and you're going to be just fine with making eyelashes. Now the lower lashes also of course exist, and they are coming from the eyelid, not the whites of the eye. It's really easy to overdo the lower lashes, so just be really cautious to place in a few light lines sparsely as you go. Otherwise, you create like a tarantula eye. I do have a terrible glare. I've left this camera light on so that you can really see the coloration of the graphite, but it's giving me a wicked glare today, so I'm going to push this light off, and although now it looks a little sepia tone, you're able to actually see the work a little bit better. I hope this demonstration has helped you to figure out how to plot the different placements proportions and shapes using a grid, and you can transfer this information to any feature, any object really, that you want to work in a grid with. And then the development of the value here on this page for all of you working at home, page 102, adding the value is a bonus on this page. You are going to have plenty of time to practice that on page 103. So I hope that you give it a try and you find some success today.